Up at 9 begins now with Alex Mufumbiro, the deputy spokesperson of the National Unity Platform. Ate, one of my long-time friends, those with whom we share traits of birth. We all came from the Democratic Party and took different directions. Me, took journalism, he took politics, and he's been exercising. It's a very good right to speak. Mufumbiro, what do you miss about the Democratic Party? Or do you miss it anyway?
I don't miss it.
You don't?
I don't miss the Democratic Party because I think we wasted a lot of young energy.
We wasted?
Yeah, we wasted a lot of young energy in the Democratic Party. Had we, just imagine, this is the first time you're hosting me.
The first time, yes.
In the history of Simon Muyanga.
Yes, the first time, the second.
The
on
first.
TV first.
The first
radio.
time, yes.
Radio before.
Not even on radio.
Sure.
Sure.
Good.
Now, it shows you that we were either in the wrong vehicle or we were simply, you know, I have studied the Democratic Party after passing on of generations. The noble duty of my former leader in the Democratic Party was to keep the young Turks that would propel the momentum of defeating the ongoing oligarchy today, to keep them at bay. I have shared, and I can openly share here, I was top still in the Democratic Party. Yes. Because I was on the National Executive Committee.
Yes.
I was very close to power in the Democratic Party. But I have testified that there is no single day in the Democratic Party we discussed General Museveni and defeating him.
True that. True that.
Now, if I was giving energy to defeating General Museveni, but I had been oriented to infighting, politics of the next election.
You do not miss our good times of the alagidde? You don't miss those?
You know, that's still not DP.
That was activism outside DP.
And that is not DP.
But the roots were there.
Yes, that is not DP. I don't. I have developed anger.
About DP?
Because of you know, for me, I'm unfortunate. My existence in DP was with Mao. You know, I was quoted by Mao and Kezala. Yes.
Okay.
Ambassador
so
Kezala.
There.
I met. I was with FDC. We did start FDC in Mukono.
I don't remember so much about you in FDC, but anyway, you were there if you say so.
The history is clear. I stood in UCU because of an FDC ticket. And I'm the last leader in UCU to be elected in that university because they later changed the system because of the politics that we involved there. That is a long story.
You caused some mayhem there.
It was not easy.
And they got it.
It was not easy. But so what I wanted to tell you is that I don't miss it. I am sometimes frustrated because what
in your political journey, what good trait do you attribute to DP? What could you have learned from them? And if you say, I learned this from them anyway.
What I learned from the Democratic Party, they are quite very honest and intelligent people.
Honest and intelligent.
Yeah, they are people I have worked with. That have shaped me, that I have looked after, and they have not ashamed what I have looked after them. The late Paul Kawanga Semogerere, I did get opportunity to speak at the funeral of Professor Ssente Zakajubi, as was accorded by one of the people I cherish so much in my political life, the late Matthias Birekerao Subuga. So there are things, and I believe if Subuga was around, probably the dice of the Democratic Party would be different today.
Correct. tell a friend to tell a friend that Baba TV, the hot cup at 9, is with the Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro. Enaku zizona tubadde n'abatalina bye batugamba. Ndoza leo tulina ina kyatugamba. Finally you have go ina kyotugamba because bali abantu balina kyatugamba. Mufumbiro, away from politics, what do you do for a living? Kikyokola okubaawo. Kyokati Muyanga musomesa, nasoma busomesa, njya mu classroom, nonde ebyenanda, kuba amatafali, ni mama uni, ni mendaji. Away from politics, you okola ki to survive?
Professionally, I'm a lawyer.
True, are you? People doubt you or not. When did you complete that?
Muyanga, you've known me for how long?
For quite long as a lawyer.
No. You have known me for how long?
I've known you for quite 17 years.
Have I been in any of your legal matters? Anywhere? Discuss them?
Casual as an advisor. When I was selecting lawyers to handle my election petition, you were advised. But you don't participate.
Was it bad advice? Was it legal advice?
Legal, and because I lost.
Even when you are,
you know I lost.
Even when you are now, there's a difference between a lawyer and an advocate. And I don't want to be here to teach you that.
You can. Feel free to teach me.
No.
You can. An advocate is one who goes to court.
An advocate is one who chooses
to meet a pleader.
Yes, to represent people in court.
Yes.
But that's not the only duty of law.
Lawyers.
Okay? I have told you professional, I'm a lawyer. Even that advice I gave you, you would have paid for it.
I did.
But you didn't.
Sure.
You've forgotten.
You want me to remind you?
You should remind me. You've forgotten. You
buy mobile money. Okay.
So
that's very good.
So it is important. Yes, if you paid, then it means that it was advice worth paying for. So
true.
I don't want to go into the dynamics of those. Let people judge me by my mind.
You were a lawyer.
But to the issue of what I do, Muyanga, I have dedicated my young energy as a duty to defeat the status quo. How I am living, that is for another day. No. But I am living. My job is to remove General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I do it from morning to night. That is why I am here. You have not paid me. Some other people that you bring here, you pay them after some time as panelists. I never take money from no TV. I come to do one duty, to take away the problem. Because even if I work, you know where we are coming from. Let people not look at our smartness. You know what is where we are coming from. You said you're a journalist, but you're a politician also. You know why? Yeah, you're standing, you've stood for more than 2 times.
For 2 times.
For 2 times, no.
I've stood for 3 times, one, lost 2.
Good. Yeah, that is standing.
Yes.
So it means that you have reasons as to why you get involved in that business also. So for me, omulimu gwange kujjako General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Yavaako tannaba.
Golowooza ki?
Ati gwakola omulimu
nsimuli.
Nze mbuuza gwa mawulire.
Gwenwano anti era gwa mawulire gwenwano okujjako gw'olipotingako gw'olaba soogera ku muzimu gw'olaba ki?
Mulaba ng'akyaliwo.
Gw'olaba nkola ki?
Olwana kumuggyako. Olaba olina gy'olaga? Olaba olugendo?
Gwe obuŋŋamba.
Nze siraba olugendo.
Bwe giba mu myaka gy'omanyidde 17 nkyaziza leero. Lwaki nkyaziza leero? Lulina liwanjawulo? Kitegeeza nti byendiko.
Nange era wano ozizeewo leero.
Byendiko kitegeeza bisobola otutuuza ku mmeeza gwe n'oyogera ebibyo nze ne nkubulira ebyange. Byendiko bisobola bye binkyaziza tutule ffenna.
So mu bwongo obwo nga Mufumbiro. How old are you? I am 44.
I am old enough. Above 18.
So mu myaka egyo gy'olina olaba ng'ekizibu kya Uganda mu byonna mu 7. Nti kikwetaagisa gubeere mulimu nga gwokeerako emisana n'ekiro.
Era nakizuula bwe ntyo. Kyova olaba nayimiriza biri ebirala.
Tofa ku by'amateeka mu kooti.
Ate waliwo amateeka. Tewali mateeka olwaleero abantu bawoleza mu General Court Martial. Omanyi Muyanga mwogera ebintu ebimu bino nga mubyogera mbisaagirizamu. Gw'omanyi ekyakutuukako mu kooti byali fair? You spoke a lot of things at court.
Yes.
Was it fair?
No.
Was that process fair?
No.
So do you want me?
But was it the state trying me?
Do you want me?
Was I trying the state?
No.
It was my case against an opponent called Lubogo, who
you
had his lawyer in the Sekana, who was smarter than my lawyer.
And now today you're agreeing about smartness, so you fully accept the outcome of the case.
It was smarter.
Yes.
And smarter to mean, not to mean that smarter means the law was properly followed. Smarter could be
now,
the nature of shrewdness.
The duty of constitutionalism is not about shrewdness. Constitutionalism is purity. Equity must be pure, my brother.
Like where else?
Everywhere. Even at your home, there must be equity, which is pure. It's the foundation of life. Purity. If it is not, work towards getting there. Yes. And that is what we are doing. And that is why I'm here.
As an assignment.
Yes.
An assignment.
Yes. And I'm busy. You have me here for 2 hours. Do you know what I will charge you for 2 hours, Simon?
In a law firm.
Anywhere, even as me as a persona. Because I'm not an everyday person as you listen to me and as you analyze me and as you have known me. If you sought advice from me, then I'm not an everyday person, because you are also Simon Muyanga. You are not an everyday person. So you don't think that it is because I lack what to do. And for God's sake, they have invited me to work with them and I have refused. If they are working with the dwarfs that you have given opportunity to discuss with, then you think I'm not dwarf enough like them? Really?
You're better?
No, I may be better dwarf. Simon.
You know what bothers me is if this is the only job you do, it's a calling, right? But I don't think it can constitute your whole economic earning or lifestyle or survival and as a daily work. But anyway, the choice is...
I am facilitated and looked at. Let me tell you, Simon. I am a very honest person.
Very?
Yes, and I will use both words.
Very honest person?
Yes.
Okay.
You see, Ugandans will realize later that this is not an everyday interview. Me and you.
It's not an everyday one?
No, interview.
It's a meeting of like minds or unlike minds.
That is why I told the producer specifically to choose you. Because I wanted the country to have these opinions that people have had opportunity to discuss, to have them dissected fundamentally. And now let me tell you, in 2017, as Chagulanyi was standing for MP, I was driving a new series Morano. Okay?
Yes.
And I think you saw it.
Yes.
Or I drove you once in it.
From town to where I was going to do the show from, at Siskano.
Thank you. Before joining Bobby Wine.
Yes.
So it means that I was from a point of advantage and living well with my business. When Bobby Wine came, things turned around. We lost everything. We were pushed to sit with the devil to continue with whatever we were doing. And we chose to leave whatever we were doing to take away the devil.
Devil in this case to mean?
It is easily understandable in my conversation, because when you talk about Bobby Wine and the devil, you know I want to be rhetorical.
Take that I don't, you know. Tell me the devil. Be bold enough and
the
say.
Devil that has bedeviled this country for the last so many years.
Who is the devil? Say
Muyanga,
it.
you know the devil.
I don't know. Why would I ask? Am I so dense to ask if I knew? I don't know.
Let's continue. I'll tell you the devil as the conversation goes on.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
when we start all this, in Bujiri they imprisoned me for 7 days. 7 days. I am a Musoga. I have roots in Bujiri. Okay?
And you were in Ujiri.
I am in Bujiri. They arrest me from my hotel room. They break into my hotel room because I am supporting my OB, Asman Basalwa from Kira College Butiki. Okay? A person we looked up to, becoming guild president at Makerere University.
True.
A lawyer who inspired some of us to do law.
Yes.
Okay? a long-time friend in a by-election. I was picked from my hotel room and imprisoned for 7 days for doing nothing. Okay? And then General Museveni goes in Arua after arresting us in Bujiri and says he was more prepared in Arua. You know what happened in Arua? You may not know still.
I remember what happened in Arua.
Can you assist me, remind me? What happened in
Arua? There were political campaigns.
Okay.
There was a by-election where you had a candidate in the names of Kassiano Wadri, and then Adam had a candidate in the names of Nusrat Peru. Basically, that's what I remember.
That is what you remember. Yes. Sure, as a journalist?
That is what the campaign.
Now, we are talking about the unfolding.
There was a death. There was a driver of your party leader, Lord Yasin Kauma.
Good. And what happened to my party leader now? I
was not there now.
No, I mean,
what was reported?
Then, what was reported as a senior journalist?
He was arrested. Detained,
for how many days?
I don't precisely remember. Arrested,
tried in the general court martial?
The general court martial. But later released.
To you, are those normal days?
Not normal.
And do you think anybody can continue to do things normally in those abnormal days?
One would continue. Why? Because the system that arrested you is the system through which you were released.
They were not released.
The system still lives, and
they were not released. They were not released because of the system. They were released because of the power of the people. People power. Don't live in Ozum, Simon.
That's what you think?
Yes. You want to say that you don't know why they were released? You want to tell me that General Museveni spoke more than 5 times. He had even to say Bazukulu Mukakane. You're a journalist. It's you supposed to remind me, not me supposed to remind you, my brother.
When it crossed lines of inconsistencies, falsehoods, and misconceptions, my journalism does not cross into you. For example, if the people power is strong enough, why is Segirinya and Sewanyana still under incarceration? Because where is the people power?
No. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Let the people that liberated Bobby Wine liberate these two also.
And I will give you that explanation because that is where you have wanted us to go. Every time, my friend, we are learning from history and we are consistent with what we are doing. That is why even yesterday there are those that were abducted because they want to stop what they cannot stop.
Tell me.
Yes. The reason they have abducted.
When does people power apply?
People power applies even now. Because I have told you I am here because of people power.
So people power saved Bobby Wine?
Yes.
Why is it not saving
it? It will save him. It is a matter of time. The challenge is that for you have given it a timeline. And secondly, Bobby Wine is not Segirinya. Bobby Wine is not Sewanyana.
We have a
the other one is our leader. That is why even today it is difficult to arrest him. I can tell you from here.
Is a people's leader in Machin.
Very true.
Segirinya is a people's leader in Kawete.
Very true.
They are all leaders in their own right.
And
when they constitute a body together,
yes,
they make NOP.
Yes.
That the party leader leads.
And the people of National Unity Platform and the people of Uganda are standing with constant solidarity with Alan Sewanyana and Segirinya. That is why they are not dead. They are supposed to be dead, my brother.
Who is supposed to kill them?
You know who's killing people. You don't know?
Karibu televiku Baba TV program Ganga Muka, the hot cup at 9 ni Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro. Tulikuwa ku bintu kamara naye. Bw'oli kwenda kutugoberera jja ku Baba TV Uganda, ku Facebook, ku Twitter, ku YouTube. Edda kuba tugoberera ate wali kwenda okugoberera nze jja kusa Simon Muyanga Lutaya ku Twitter, edda kunfuna @Muyanga Lutaya ku YouTube, sa Simon Muyanga Lutaya ku Facebook. Page sa Simon Muyanga Lutaya da kuba tugoberera bulungi ni Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro omumyuka w'omwogezi era omunamawulire omukulu w'ekibiina kya National Unity Platform ekikulembera Robert Kyagulanyi Center. Kale katuje ni Mufumbiro oba oli kuwaya ku mulimu gw'olina, oli kuwaya ku by'oli kukola, oli kuwaya ku by'oli kutambula, wendi kwenda tuwongere okutambulira.
Nze okulivinga kwange nga bwe nkulaze nti and you have attested it kuba oluusi ebintu omuntu ayinza olowooza nti aliko bakyono tikwali kubi
waliwo okuna obusente
ate era tiva mu background ya family endaba. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want
waliwo edda okulya.
and that is not how we were grown up. nze emirimu gyonna gyonna ate njikozeewe kankobere. Nze nakola ku factory ey'ebizigo enabweru nga twemerera essaawa 12 ayo ojja okumalaku omwezi ng'olina emitwalo 3 ng'edisinga baditemye. Byetulwanirira tulina obulumi
okay? Yes.
Nze nali ku ewa Bulangiti mu Ndeeba ezitatandidde mu Ndeeba
ng'okola Bulangiti
nga tutunda Bulangiti yali kampuni ng'etunda mate senior 6 muganda wange ali South Africa Asman Sentongo natunda ku kapeti mu Kiyembe ni material ejola njidi bulungi n'okuyiriba mbaire ku street ekyo kidi bulungi.
Actually, when you have been on street and you are still on street, because even what you practice street politics, the way you conduct your politics is street style.
Because ties lie to you that decorum and not saying things the way they are supposed to be said is what is not street.
No, you can say whatever you want to say.
Now, since this show started, have I been street?
The argument when you call somebody devil,
because
that's street language.
Devil is associated with what? Death, hopelessness,
yes, misery.
Misery.
Yes.
We are in misery. My brother Jumashid Kavma is languishing in jail. You have been in prison before. You know what it means. So when we talk about these things, you who have been there, it is important and incumbent upon you not to pamper those who are lambasting us.
The difference is debating the principle.
So telling you...
Was I in prison by the state?
By?
Is it the state that imprisoned me? No.
The system.
I was in this
the prison. System of the state. You went to court against stealing your election, because those are facts that I'm very privy to. Okay? The system and the shrewdness, as you have attested, denied you victory, and they put costs on you for going to court in matters of justice. Okay? And you remember the words you said at the steps of court. Those are some of the inspirational words I have heard from you for a very long time, because you gave me hope in whatever struggle I will be in.
What did I say?
You said that the struggle for the people that you are struggling for cannot be taken aback by somebody getting you and taking you to prison. You will win. And you had a big function in Kaliro. And it was a message of hope against a system.
That is when you
against a system.
This is what it says, that when you imprison the body, you don't imprison the soul.
Yes.
That's what it meant. But I did not state...
Do you know what that means? That is more magnanimous than what I've just said. That when they imprison you, they just put there the body. The rest of the faculty of Muyanga Utaya remains committed to whatever they are. For me, that is very inspirational to me. That if at any one time I am dangling in the rotten jails of the dictator, I will be sober enough to know they have put there the body, not the soul.
Struggle. Am I right?
Ate sichisiibako bwe buvunaanyizibwa
emisana n'ekiro
bwenkola kyenkugambye nti mwankubidde essaawa 4 omuntu omulala abakuwalika nkedde wano ate sikedde bukeezi wano kedde mu lukiiko ku National Unity Platform, because we have a secretariat. I am the national deputy spokesperson of NUP. I don't only end jurisdiction in Kampala. I speak to members in the US, in UK, in Amsterdam, in Europe, in Asia, all over the world. We are busy, my brother. It's not a simple job to overthrow a dictator. And that is why we have given it all our all, because we still have the edge and the energy.
Busy removing a dictator. Do you still believe in that?
Where don't you believe?
You're busy removing a dictator in whose environment you are able to tell it to him that you are a dictator and remain scot-free.
Because we are strong. We have absorbed the concept of fear. I have conquered the art of understanding that I must not fear for standing what is right. That is what many of our brothers and sisters can't do. Okay?
You think
so, let me tell you something. It is not because we are godly. No. But we are not the first. This land was colonized, Simon.
True that.
Our grandfathers were slaves.
True that.
And you know how you came to get that liberation. So what makes you think that there will be no other gene of person born to do that for his people? Muyanga kankoberewe. Why we have the energy to do this? Nze musada musoga. Idinda ina kulira munjidi bulungi kuba ate nazalibwa ngamba ku kifo nga ti kintu kifa kyawala kuba nali nsula opposite St Jude Ojidi plot 49 awo kumpi na source of the Nile. That is very urban. Nali nga tidi njira ya itaka kuba awo naona wabona itaka nali tidi njira ezira matala nali isomero Victoria Nile Primary School nasomera mu community nga bali tali ndi awo n'oluzungu lwendi kufuwera ngobera lwa Busoga wale ku Victoria Nile. Oli kunfuna bulungi nga isomero liri ku eka area Victoria tulina lowa school ni upper school olwaleero bali kutunda itaka tuli kulwana bulwane
Victoria
obaire ki
tikisobo
ndi kukobera mene eri bali soseri amasomero okutundibwa
ayaguli nti bali kutunda itaka
ndi kukobera nti
what I disagree with era government neri kutunda
buti oli kuntwala wandi kuba ndi kutwala ku system ndi kwenda otegeera obuluminze bwenda kuba wenda ate ni government yoyogeraku twagezaako okugibona oba ife abasoga etwenda iwe kankobere twateekateeka wenda ng'olimu painting the city bright ni Haji Baswaleka ezaala olwaleero ambassador baatusuubiza okugemera ku Busoga okuteekateeka twaleeta abembi baali babeetalina saako ni General Megadi waliwo ni n'omwami ondi bentajja kwogera mayino olw'obuvunaanyizibwa bwe balina. What happened was lost for Busoga. Baida bwidde kusiiga langi ku poliisi n'esente daali lina okuproperinga ng'olwedde waliwo endagaano ne Sweden eyamba Busoga to improve its tourism n'okutandika okuniina kagulu because that was Ambassador Kezaala. What happened? Even the 200 million they promised him yaja yadeola because I was technically involved. Esente dodonati badimuwa. Chabazinga ya identifying anti obwavu mu Busoga is a big issue. Those were one of the key pointers ise ifechi yasoko okubonanga amazoti amamuntebe. Yati amani bakulu bayini. Oyidi kye bamukoba. Bamukoba nti afune endagaano, afune omulimu. Tibasobola kumuwa biliyoni wali biliyoni oba 3 oba 2 bamuwa omulimu ajja akolenga omusaala nga bamubona byalikola ki byalikola ekyo tikyandibaire kibi aye abandi bemudipiya bo balina butuukirivu ki imwe abataniga n'omukulembeze gw'omwenda tususute yaide waife yakoba nti wowe buno obwavu tibubonangako imwe obwavu buno mukola mutiya bana okuba mbwavu buno tibubonangako mu Uganda twidye nga tubakoba nti obwavu mu Uganda butandikira Busoga. And I've traveled the whole country. I've even been to Karamoja ndidi okudefininga kyebeeta obwavu eri abakwaga aye nga bakweta muzeeyi nga n'obukaire bakayirika. Younger people are not being resourceful because of obwavu obuliye ewaife oluguudo olujayo okuva wano. You would be coming from Jinja every day. Every day you would not even need to domicile here because this is just 75 kilometers. All over the world abantu batambula engendo n'engendo okujja ku mirimu. But because of the infrastructure nife twenka bebalobeire okugaitako aye ng'oluguudo olu n'oluliikiriza Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania n'okubaawo kwa Congo. So wayuswa abe munaga mu bwongo akobe nti ensonga eno njirekere bandi bagirwanirire ababutunuliza abayidi bayita potential ya Busoga nga Busoga just Jinja nga bakalitoolawo biyirire ebyo bya Budagali n'amasanalaze ge tutaafunamu nga bakali bitolawo. We had a potential of over $500 million per annum just Jinja. Olwaleero bw'ogiye Bujagali kyekiriwo iwe buti ojjayo kuba oli Busoga. So bwembanga ndikwogera olwaleero idinda efuuka ghost town kira college bagibanda oba imeka mwiri oba bagibanda imeka. So 36 years oleera ira yabakoba nti ayenga yabakuba ku ebikado. You know what is happening to ebikado. Government policy, first of all, abantu mutaba wa direction yebajja nibajja mu direction eri particular nibaba observing and nibaba
on sugarcane. Seven warned the Basoga
that what
do not go there, it is not your crop. The political leaders down there encouraged people to do it, at least for that one, because I've been following, and you said I'm a journalist you trust.
I'm going to take you on that.
Warned the Basoga against sugarcane growing. He said with your 3-4 acres you cannot do this.
Give me 3 sugar companies in Busoga and who has licensed them. New ones apart from Advan. You know, these issues of saying, these issues of saying that this one refused and in policy he affirms, that is different. The reason of government is to deliver services. The reason of the reasoning and why government has structures, planning and what is to have foresight. The issue is now not even on their workmanship. The issue is on the market.
Okay.
Market ye mwene nali jigabira ku permit. You know nti linda ku ojida want to very pertinent kuba tulikubika.
And what has to be there?
Oidi obulungi nti ebikade Busoga ekizibu tikyakubirima. Ekizibu kiri kikatale. Bwova ku katale exploitation ey'omulimi kuba nze ndi muluuka. I know what I am talking about. Nti omulimi government ezirawe muyambira ku bikado bamulekera company nemuwa ensigo exploitation etandikirawo mu kuyambirawo so eitaka lyoli waayo and then the company takes the responsibility. Wolina responsibility ya kulima na kulinda. Then when you reach time of going to sell to them ng'ogire ng'omuntu tibakomaawo, you need to have a permit. Azira permit afuna obuzibu. Abalina permit ba government ba bibinachi eriyo wenupu goyida alina permit ey'okutunda ebikade Busoga.
What makes a good doctor a good one is the right diagnosis, but at the end of all the right prescription.
Policy
now prescribe. If NUP was in leadership, how would you handle our economy differently? Start from Busoga.
You are talking about the economy. First of all, if you're talking about Uganda economy, Uganda is a country that can blossom in the shortest time possible. Given the examples of exposure in the different worlds like Singapore, like Dubai, attested to by our leaders.
True.
However, what has affected our economy first? Dishonesty of the leadership.
I do not want
wait,
to debate the lamentations.
Simon,
I've simply said,
I am
Alex,
above.
if NUP were the leaders today, like you want to become, what would you do? I don't want the lamentation of the 7 thing has messed the economy. Now I want NUP's policy on it.
Nze tili oyo adi okuyida wano nkuwe yes answer. Tenda nkobe ntujja ku prioritizinga mukole enguudo. Tenda nkobe ntujja categorizinga era ebifo ebyendawulo. We talked about infrastructure. What is affecting, because what are the factors? Oli kwenda togera economics. What are the factors of production? One is land.
What?
Do you have a land problem in Uganda today? Yes. You have refused me from telling you the challenges. So I want to take it to your right. We have land challenges in Uganda.
How would you solve them if you are given opportunity? That's what I want.
That is what I wanted to tell you, that you have to give me time
to
develop, because the point you ask talking about of economy of changing this country is big.
I want
it is not a minute thing.
The policy shift.
You want the
policy shift. Difference between NUP and NRM is what I want now. What would you do differently if given opportunity?
We would cut the administration of the country. Number one. We have an exorbitant expenditure repetitively on the different sectors of government, and especially the political leadership. I can tell you we spend, public service spends about 40%.
What percentage of our budget does public administration take?
It takes a huge toll. I think it takes about over 40%.
Okay. So you reduce it to what?
You see, now that is not something I can come here and tell you reduce it to 20 to 15, but I can tell you that we would look into definitely. And reduce it.
The ultimate is reduce it.
Yes.
How would you do that now? That's what we want.
For example, you have how many RDCs?
100. I have as equal number of RDCs as the districts I have in Uganda.
Have they been of use in your own analysis? Because you belong to FDC. At least you've been putting on lenses of the opposition. In your analysis, do you think we need those RDCs?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, to me, I think we do need the RDCs. All we need to do, my difference with you is that you say you don't need them. Yeah, I need them.
I told you.
All I need to make them more effective.
How?
So when I come, if I were in government, I would simply improve the effectiveness in service delivery. But we need them.
What are the duties of RDCs since you said you need them?
As
do they deliver any service?
You were a lawyer.
No.
What does the Constitution tell them to have?
We are here.
The RDC position is constitutional.
We are here with you. And we promised the people watching this show that it is not a normal show. So let it be interactive.
Yes, it is.
And I am saying, in your assumption, what are their duties? Because you talked about service.
What is
you see service?
Their core duty is to monitor government programs. Which means even if the government was not NRM and was NOP, they would monitor what you want the people to achieve. Because certainly, you can't do anything from Kamosha or everything from Kamosha.
Are they political?
The RDCs? Yes, they are. If somebody says that somebody is representing the president,
how do you monitor? How do you monitor government work in the rank and file of Uganda? Through RDCs? Let me tell you, RDCs are a representative of the president.
Who is the chief political executive of the country? Right or wrong?
So now let me...
The number one politician of our country is the president.
This is what I'm telling you now. They represent the president.
True.
Okay? That is why they're called the resident district commissioners. Because their residence in that place is fulfillment of existence of the presidency.
True.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, they cannot, by that mere definition, supervise work done by the technical people. 2, they are the head of security of the district. Okay?
Yes.
To your performance, you think they have done that? Because if you're saying you need them, their creation has been a breakdown of appreciation of government people who have sometimes failed politically to have them have jobs. And the duties they are doing are for the national resistance movement and army, not the people of Uganda. They represent fully the interests, okay? But then political, the appointment, and yet they are receiving salaries from the consolidated fund.
Let's go for starters.
Now, once you are saying that you want to cut politics, we are telling you to cut administration. And you are telling us we maintain that huge political administration to a district which has the following people.
How?
To supervise. Listen, because, you know, monitoring and supervision is clear. There is accountability at the district. There is a chief administrative officer who's a cow. There is a town clerk. There is an assistant town clerk, depending on the size and the breakdown of the district. Okay?
I love the line of argument.
Now, where you have over 4 technical people, 4 technical people, and not only them, because those are the heads, but I can go to departments. Every district has a DMO. Every district, there is an entire circle of the decentralization system. So instead of appreciating people who have failed in campaigns, in elections, in political contests,
okay,
it would be important that we cut down the public expenditure. Let me tell you, you have over 500 members of parliament.
Let's go slow. We have agreed that RDCs.
Me, I don't need them.
You will not need them.
First of all.
So how much would we save in removing RDCs?
Each RDC has a brand new double cabin. You know how much that is?
Sure, I agree.
So you're saying how much?
How much would we save there? We are not looking at the
money. We will save whatever we have saved. Start from there. Do not look at huge or small.
So your policy,
for example, if you have
no RDCs.
Wait, even if we maintained the position of RDCs, because I must be alive to leadership, it should not be. Why would you have RDCs in every district? An RDC can have an area of interest and area of operation. Just like you can have a regional police commander.
So
these are simple systems.
You would have RDCs at regional level?
We can say at regional level, depending if they will be important anyway. And why should it even be why should we even feel scared to say that we will remove them?
Fine.
But that is not, when I am here, I am mindful that I don't speak personal opinion, especially in terms when I'm dissecting policy.
As a policy chief,
cut down the huge expenditure. Yes.
You remove RDCs. Let's go the
Go to members of parliament. We have over how many to your count?
525.
Do you think that we should cut them down?
My opinion?
Yes.
What I think?
Yes.
Because I don't.
I want your opinion. Me, of course, by bringing them, I am talking about cutting. But before I dissect it, I want to know your opinion. I said you are a politician.
I invited you for your opinion. That's why you're the guest.
No. I said this show is like no other show. You are a politician. You know you have a son called Besiji.
True, I have.
You know what that means?
What does it mean?
It means that you have... No, Besiji is politics.
I have personal admiration for the person of Besiji.
Because
the medical doctor and soldier.
And politics. And politics.
We have looked at the Baba TV program, Ganga Muka, the hot cup at 9. Ni Mufumbiro. Alina kyatugamba. Lero saga dembe nabali abatalina kye batugamba. Nina alina kyatugamba. Era bye mwakawulira bye byatugamba. So, bwe tukomye tuli kusinga nupo efunye omukisa okujja mu buyinza esobola kuyamba eti abantu kuva mu bwavu ng'ab'e Busoga boyogeddeko ekisoga ntusala omuwendo gw'ensimbi esaasanyizibwa ku bukulembeze ne tujjawo ba RDCs ne tugenda ku parliament bwe tukomye nga nti parliament y'abantu 525 bwe mujja esalibwa etya.
Omanyi nti constituencies nningi badisaze nga badisala okusinza kyebeta gerrymandering. Okutematema for interests of individuals. Okay? So, eriyo constituency ngerimu abantu emitwalo 10. Yabayo constituency ngerimu abantu 700, 200, 300. So, bobo oli kukola nga abantu abo bonna bonna bebayida mu house bali presentinga kintu n'ekirala. Tulina okuyirayo tulingirire. The division
is a beneficiary of the gerrymandering.
For example, where?
For example, Jinja district woman MP, Jinja would have one woman MP.
That was,
you have the city created very small with a woman MP.
That is the challenge.
Had it not be Jinja city, you don't have an MP.
Now, that was not a creation of a constituency. That was, they were elevating Jinja, which ought to have been elevated long time ago.
The elevation
wait. No. Gerrymandering. Uliriza no kutematemamu for your interest. Mpuliriza bintu byandikuba. Uliriza totematemamu.
You have MPs you wouldn't have had if the original status was maintained.
She would have stood as woman MP and still won. Do you know by what margin she won? You want to doubt her win?
No, I don't.
She did it squarely. She won everywhere there. Every polling station she swept. So
you think
this was, of course, you're talking about Budondo. And this is a person who a campaign. What are you talking about? Don't you know that they nearly murdered Chagulanyi at the bridge, shooting at the can, stopping the campaign to come to the Electoral Commission? Nkwiduk is a nature. So for us, we would have won anywhere as long as people had accepted that person.
So you reduce parliament from 2 to 5 to 5 to 1?
It is common sense that this parliament has been growing in the interest of a particular side. Do you know the division of parliament? Do you know how many MPs you have in Busoga? You're a journalist. Let's go there. How many 44. MPs do you have in Busoga? 44. How many in Western Uganda?
When you talk about Western Uganda, what do you
How many in Eastern Uganda? You can say Central Akoli.
Whatever. Okay, we have 44 for Busoga.
How many do you have in Ankole?
I need to cross-check.
How many do you have in Buganda?
Muliro.
How many do you have in the north? When you have the fact, we shall discuss that.
What do you have to say about the numbers?
Because the numbers represent the gerrymandering.
The regions are geographically different in size, true?
Which is the biggest size in circumference?
Busoga has 11 districts.
When you're talking about, if you talk about size, don't talk about districts, my brother. Talk about square miles. Don't take me where you have not.
MPs represent square miles?
Because they divide.
They represent population.
Yes. And for me, I am saying that first we should, a population sits on a particular size of location, okay? You will not have 10 million sitting in a quarter an acre.
True.
That is impossible. So I am talking about circumference, and then if you want to go even on population, Busoga is 6 million, Central Ankole, there are how many? Because you're talking about figures. Buganda, there are 11 million. The people you're talking about are how many?
And the number of MPs for 6 million Basoga
yes,
is not the number of 11 million Baganda.
That is a fact. But the question is, what is the division of the 6 million against the other side? When I'm here, I also speak for Busoga, so you will not take me there because I know what has been done to Busoga.
So
you are talking about...
So does Busoga have less MPs or more MPs than it would have had?
It's definitely...
Under your leadership, would
no,
it
no,
have
no, no,
more
no.
or less?
It is not about more or less, but it would have what it deserves to have.
What is that?
Every constituency was targeted to have 100,000 voters in accordance with the constitution.
The constitution,
so,
the constitution says 70,000.
70,000.
Yes.
Good. Now, is that what is being followed?
Would you increase that to 100,000? That's what you want?
We can increase it to 100,000, but even if we maintain it at 70, they will not have what we are having today. I have told you there are many constituencies. If you gave me a program that I'll come and tell you and how they were put together. Don't you know how they put up those constituencies in Shema? Do you want me to tell you how they put up the constituencies in Sembabule? Because when we speak here, we don't only speak to ourselves, we speak to the populace. When I speak about Sembabule, they quickly go to Sembabule and understand that I'm not telling a lie.
Okay. We are looking at your economic policy.
Yes.
How your economic policy
we have
like?
We have the A's, the academics, because that also resonates. Services, how do you deliver these services? What is the cost of having a graduate in a home? Have you gone to that mathematics as a parent?
Take me there. Because for you it is your preoccupation throughout the day.
So the cost of even having a graduate, there is no job they will have that will resonate their cost of production. Are we skilling our people rightly for production in our country, where you have a country that is having 90% of its human resource going to do enslavement work, manual work, and even their exposure that they get there is not followed up to transcend and revolve and have a development back home? Because a young man now who has participated in the building of a field in Qatar could have some experience in improving Nambole. But when you have old-fashioned people, they will not see that. I went to the YMCA here. You might have been there, a basketball court, one that we have as a preserve for our country. Do you know the best athletes in America are basketball players? Well paid. For me, in Kira College, it was compulsory that if you didn't play football, you would go and have another game to play. So we had very bright people who would not need to play games, but we also had extremely talented people who went through as a result of their capabilities in talent. This government, 36 years down the road, in certain schools you'll even pay for a kid to play football. It is a cost. Now, in economics, what we are saying is...
So it is your assertion that this government has killed talent?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, sure?
You doubt that?
The Joshua Cheptegei...
They are training in Kenya. You don't follow these people. You are journalists. These are celebrated after they have brought victory.
What's your game? What's your game?
Our game.
Your game as Mufumbiro.
My game.
What do you do best? What game? Are you a footballer, an athlete, a basketballer, or what? What's yours? Tell me what's your
game. All-round student.
What's your best out of all?
Anti-best tiaja ku national team. Ayo mpira nagukuba nagukunkumula.
How did the government frustrate your talent that you are not in the national team today?
Oh, nze nabona kwa kolonge baji ku bigola 22 ni kipa yafa. Iwe chicho oli kwogera ku.
So
toidi kakaire ngeri bamugemamu. Oba togoberera.
Se kyo
twa kakaire. Iwe toidi nti mu masomero agolwa lero twasamba nga kyebeta post primary ngokuba ku timu ya post primary iwe nzo okubona Sekaja nambona munagalama. Yali nagalama. It was another level.
What frustrated your talent that you are not?
No, for me, I don't want to say what frustrated. For me as a person, I might have been born probably to do what I'm doing today.
Because you're giving an impression that the government frustrates talent.
No, when we are speaking about frustration, now that is the challenge you have. You think because you are okay, there are no challenges with other people. No, for us,
what I have is the rowdy street-like character.
Don't say rowdy.
Rowdy street-like character.
No, you wait.
Of the way you want to handle these policy issues.
Because no, it is you who wants to handle them with decorum in a tie, with the facade of lies. Okay? And that's not the truth.
Have I told any lies so far?
When you begin to tell me that it is going to be about me, then you're going to kill the show. The show is about Uganda.
Because it starts with you.
Policy.
The person who has left his law profession to commit his time to the struggle is you.
To make sure, to make sure that me, with my capabilities of fighting and defeating and liberating my people of Busoga, with the help of other people that I have found, in Busoga, we can build them a new Uganda which will have talent. Iwe kankobere, nkukobe banza la ku St. Jude. Oide kisawe chibali bete echaka Kindu Stadium.
Yes.
Chaba chali kisawe chachi. Nga banu bakali kuwamba.
Chali champi.
Be. Chitegeza toidi chali cha bikonde. Toidi muna batabadaseka tutojayo. Chali cha bikonde. Era awo mukakindu mwabanga mwawoli bonecherereze chekisawe. Byabanga byuma bya ringi. Kubanze nabibonako nzenza ali wawo wene. Mama nakajja aba erusa bamwegomba gwaivo mugenzi ali MP owe Kagoma mwami Dr. Chitimbo Dr. Musoke chendiko Dr. Okedo chendiko banchidi. Okay?
So which one chebikonde
olwa bakasimo uma ni generations daiwe bali balinawe basobola okujja bayiyiza okutandika olwa leero Musoga linda ku tujempola
bwe kibe kisawe chebikonde
bwe tekiriwo
ekiriwo nani yakitawo
mbuza kyekiriwo ndi kubuza oli wabusoga
kisawe kya mupiira
okyegomba oidi kye batolawo how much worth it was
ngani atolawo
bano ate bani abali mbuyinza bano
so nani yakitwala mu bano
nze munawe iwe oyinza okubakulira kaliro aye ffe twali edinda amasanalaze bwe gavanga ku ife abakulirayo twogera bakubanga nti bano abatwala obuyinza bali kwiba ebyuma byonna biwulira kuva mu buto muna so nkobera nti bayiba ebyuma ebyalingi iwe noyenda obatakanire tiyinza kulobera ate najja naloba byagana.
What I expect you to do is that you are more advanced.
Yes.
You have a better power of discernment to get difference between what you hear and what it is.
Yali police
does Kachindu belong to NRM or to government today?
Ndi kwogera na NRM. Ndi kwogera na police yakwavuwaza yakukonzibya yakwitatanya bintu because there was a government. It is now owned by an individual. I don't even know. The land has been sold over to Indians. What I told you don't know what is in Busoga about land.
The land has been returned to the original owner.
Has been returned to the original owner. Who's the original owner?
Who are Asians?
Who are
Asians?
Ebyo byabulimba. Byabuyaye eno ni anti chenkobe nti government eno. Eno. Mwebyo byene byobwibi ebyo eno. Ani yali taninze. Ani yali taninze.
Mufumbiro.
Ani yali taninze.
My point of departure nti ebintu ebindi muba batuufu mwabigema bubi.
Ate ngekiriwa nkukobye tubaire ku talent wambuuza nti government yayinoneetya talent nakutwala mu bikonde tikomye kutwala butwale nti wale we babikubiranga nkuleetere neyakubaku. Okay? Nakulaga nti institution yero okuba nti government ezira police oli kwogera ku balumusi nono yajja yalumuka wano yali kuwangula buti emidali tajire Kenya amagulu gamugemera wano nga ni generaliwo. So when we talk about talent, talent can be a big source of income. Let me tell you another law that is affecting our economy. You are as government, do you know how much money we get from the diaspora as revenues?
Good billions.
It's about now $3 billion.
True.
$3 billion.
Even more.
These are Ugandans now in the diaspora. Do you know the law you have brought against, you want to bring against, or you have brought against Ugandans living in the diaspora? That they cannot own land here.
Are you talking about those working in the diaspora?
Ugandans living in the diaspora.
Living or working?
Living.
If they are
because when I talk about those repatriations, we cannot definitely have.
Where is that law?
Listen, we can.
That law?
No, if you have not.
Do they stop?
Simon, I have said.
In this country,
Simon,
Indians, Kenyans own land.
No,
can government deliberate and say that Ugandans born here but living in the
Simon,
cannot own land?
I don't want to correct you about the law. A person who is a foreigner does not, by law in Uganda, own land.
But that's what you're talking about by law. Don't you know of South Sudanese here who own land?
Now you want me to talk about outlaw. But what you natandike kwogera bumeni bwa mateeka wabundo beire iwe mwene but oli kunkobera tubu discussing. Chendi ko bakikino. At the behest of kwogera ekyo nti you are sure nteri abandi abazira itaka abalina itaka nga tebalina kuba nali wano mu Uganda. They are passing a law. In fact, it may have already been brought. And I am telling you because I told you I speak for those in the US, I speak for those everywhere. They are bringing a law that a Ugandan living in the diaspora waja maybe enough no butiami enti mu America okuinvesting one. First of all, okwido one they have to seek for a visa. Echo bayiro chidi. Ndio muna Uganda okuira one. I'm not seeking a visa.
They should be not necessarily from because that's even in the countries where
in your birth home. You are sick nga tulikuwa mu 21st century tulikuwa advocating uliriza mu 21st century.
Do you have a national ID in Uganda? Why would you have to identify yourself in your own country?
Don't
you have a national ID?
That's not. Do you know we have a law? No,
there must be order in a country with no benefits or enemies in leadership.
Ekigambo visa kitegeeza ki?
It's like permission to travel to that country.
Now I am asking you. That permission can either be granted
or not granted
or denied.
That's the law.
I am telling you, you are subjecting a Ugandan by birth. Okay? And you don't see how it's going to affect you economically, but I'm telling you it will affect you. You are subjecting a Simon Muyanga's can't ogere kujeno megadi.
If it will affect us, then I expect to know on the floor of parliament to raise that and say this law should not pass.
This floor of parliament, which cannot entertain abduction, rape, mining, murder of innocent Ugandans, and you think it will look at that?
It will debate that if you handled it better.
How? No,
not in the rude way.
You are living.
And then you come out and praise him.
Which rude way? Which rude way?
The conduct of Zake on the floor of parliament is unfortunate.
How?
That you have praised
it is not unfortunate.
It is unhonorable.
How
it's
is it
unparliamentary.
What are you talking
You don't
about?
just wake up and shout in parliament for speaking. If you have a matter, get up and speak. That's why we have the lead person there called the speaker.
Now, can I ask you? Because did Zake make noise?
He did.
He did not. Zake was speaking. Zake was hijacked from speaking. What are you talking about?
Hijacked.
And yes, he was hijacked from speaking. He was stopped midway his submission.
Because
what he was... No, he had not become. And let me tell you, Simon Muyanga, let you not be lied to. That we are going to be murdered. Okay? The challenge is that they have not murdered anybody you know. And it is understandable. It is very, very understandable. But the people
are saying that provoke me.
I provoke you to what? Have they murdered any of your person?
People I know.
Good. Then if they
was murdered.
By who?
I do not know.
I'm talking about these.
I don't know the murderers.
Good. For me, I'm talking about people that I know have given instructions to have Return Kenya murdered. These are the people I'm talking about. I am talking about the people that yourself has just attested to, that Simon Yasin Kauma was murdered.
On whose instructions?
You will tell me. You're a journalist. Who murdered him? He was murdered by the Special Forces Command. You mean you don't know that?
On whose instructions?
Who commands the Special Forces Command?
Are criminals who should be handled by the justice system.
Do you know who murdered? You are a journalist. Who murdered Zebra? Because that is on public record.
Who is Zebra?
You don't even know Zebra?
I don't know Zebra.
And you're a journalist?
Yes, I am.
You don't know that murder?
I'm not a journalist of murders.
Then let's
not
discuss murderers.
Tell me who Zebra was and who ordered for his...
Mando Zebra was murdered in broad daylight, and the statement was made by General Yoweri Museveni that his people had murdered Zebra. So if you're a journalist and you didn't listen to that, we are in the wrong forum.
So Museveni has no right to murder?
Listen, you asked,
when he leaves as president and his immunity is gone,
I have not said
you will try him for that murder.
Why? What you asked me, and I'm giving you examples. So no, you are. That is why we are fighting. We are fighting that where unjust has occurred, just will occur. That is why we are talking about liberation. We are not mincing in our words, my brother. It is you who feel that we are mincing in our words, but we are certain of where we are going.
You are
liberating
the presentation.
No.
How do you present your grievances?
You have been.
That a member of parliament goes to and makes noise called Zake, and we hear outside
he
parliament,
did not make
his leader praising him.
And not only his leader, you're going very far. Myself, I stand with Honorable Zake. I am educated enough, smart enough, and I am telling you in such times, Zake is a hero and he will go down history. The Zake you are castigating that he's being violent by speaking. His hands were cut. You are too busy to have seen him. He was abducted in the Arua saga you are talking about. You are too busy to see him. He nearly, wait a minute about the Zake you just talked about. He survived death. He survived death. You've never survived death. He survived death. So you don't wake up in the morning and say he's being vulgar. He told you on that floor of parliament that the reason he speaks with a lot of urge and consistency and commitment is simply because he has gone through that hell. That boy was picked from the grave, thrown dead. So if you want a person who was nearly murdered to macerate, wait a minute. If you want a person who was murdered to macerate the murderers, we are sorry. We are not that generation. And no amount of decorum will push us to do what we want to do. I am now listening.
The contradiction is that from a government that has maimed Zake, cut him in 2 pieces, tortured him, he draws a salary on a monthly basis.
Now you listen to Simon Muyanga Altaya, who says that when the wife beats the child, as long as don't.
Is it a fact or not?
It's not what you. It is.
Can Zake be bold enough and say
what you're saying?
Because I've been tormented by this system, I leave this parliament. Why can't he resign?
That is why I am not.
When
I listen to you,
he eats with
when
them.
I listen to you,
raping because he lost the commissioner job.
When I listen today,
it's about his torture.
It's
about what he lost.
Are you done?
He lost the perks from the person you call a dictator, where he was picking perks and enjoying privileges. He left because they thought his conduct was not fit. And to date, he has never come to terms with that. His fellow members of parliament was tried in the parliamentary system.
Let me teach
he was not tried by
let me teach you.
He subscribes to parliament he's sought to abide by the rules of parliament.
He does not subscribe to parliament.
Where does he's a member of parliament?
Why
can't he resign?
The word subscribing to parliament means that is where he derives his authority. That is not true. I'm trying to define English of Victoria. Now, let me tell you this.
He's a member of parliament.
Listen, where you've taken me is where I want to teach you. Zake is in parliament by not the government, by the decision of the people of Mityana.
True.
Okay? So, now, that is a constitutional, legal office that you get through the mandate of the people. So if your dictator, okay, wants to remove Zake from parliament, listen.
It's me wants Zake to leave parliament because he says he's tortured. You have just told me that he's been tortured.
Because you might be speaking for him. You might be speaking. What you're saying.
I have left a well-paying job simply because I was not comfortable with the conditions.
And that was your opinion. That was your opinion.
If in his opinion it's torture, let him leave parliament.
That was your opinion.
And
it can also be subjective to discussion. That was your opinion, my brother.
Yes.
Okay. So wait.
People that is very when he's drawing packs for me every time.
You wanted a salary increment. You did not agree. You left.
No, it wasn't a salary increment.
Zake.
It wasn't.
Zake.
I said conditions.
Zake. You remember in that matter we met with you so many times.
I do not think you know the job I have talked about.
NBS.
Not at all.
Okay, that is where.
Which job?
That is how far I was remembering. Thank you. We will leave that at that. Now let me tell you this. I wanted to go to this because when we are here, we should be honest. My brother, Zake is in parliament that you did not go to by the people. That I did not go to by the people.
I agree.
So the work he must do is to represent his people of Mityana.
By making noise.
And they voted him back. You who put on a suit, they refused.
Character.
Yes, you who suit the parliamentary character, the people said you can wait. Meanwhile, so people said I can wait. The people of Mityana, do you know what Zake did? Zake liberated that all of Singo. That all of Singo is red because of the charisma, the character, the protege of Honorable Zake. You want him to macerate. Probably you dine around with some of them, so you think that you can have it your way and say we are going to macerate him. A person who was sacked from his job, like you have said, it means if he was sacked,
yes,
then it means that he's doing the right thing, because those who sacked him are
Alex,
publicans.
I will agree for purposes of this program that I eat with them.
Maybe.
But I don't eat as much as he eats.
No, he's in a constitutional office that they do not have power over. He went for an election. This one needs a very bright person to listen to.
Wherever he is,
Muyanga,
in the government of the dictator you are removing.
It is not his government.
You are drawing salaries
My
and
friend,
tax.
wait.
You are drawing a budget as no 3 billion. But from a dictator.
You want to go there also?
From a dictator.
Yes.
From a dictator you are fighting.
Yes.
You get his money to fight him.
Now that
and you can't deny them.
It is left.
Stop the flurry.
Are you done?
No.
Are you done?
No.
Are you done?
No. Must tell us the truth in alternative policy.
Now,
like you have said.
Wait. Don't blackmail Nope. Wait. Simon, you cannot blackmail Nope, and I let you go. You have
I blackmail the right thinking because of certain. Let you go.
And let's go there. So you have brought your point up to the 3 billion. Let me school you. You have been a member of FDC, not so?
Yes.
Are you still a member?
No.
Are you still a member of FDC?
No, I'm not.
When did you leave FDC?
When did I join?
No, you've been a member. You have stood 2 times. That's 10 years. As far as I know, you have a son named after this. So you've been around.
That's personal.
Because it was political. You don't know that the function was political.
I have a daughter named after Janet.
Very good. Now, we have come to know that.
And I have another named after Hillary.
We have come to know that. So, what I am trying to tell you is, how much has FDC been picking from government?
A lot.
How much? Because if you know this, why don't you know where you have been?
The last time, what they are picking now is 1.8.
Okay. Do they use it to eat it?
Do they use to?
Eat? Do they just eat it?
They use it for what they, why draw it? And they have
do they use what?
They use it for what they draw it for. And they give accountability.
Is it constitutional money?
It is constitutional.
So what makes it?
I were the top leader of FDC, I will not pick it.
You are not. That is why you are not.
Very
because they have the electorate of FDC know that you are not up to the task of that level. It is you who wants to assume that you would be on that task. But the reason why you are not on that task is because you cannot execute it.
Is that if I knew that the government I'm drawing that money from is led by a dictator, I will not draw it.
Now I want
those who feel comfortable with doing both, drawing the money and abusing the regime, can do it.
You are only being naive to the fact that this is not his money. That is why we say he's corrupt. That is why we say that we shall charge him for accountability. Now for you, you are here and edit, decorum, glad. You want to tell me it is Museveni's money, and the world is listening to you. So for you, you are comfortable. You said you are educated. I've been listening to you. Now you want to listen to you. Wait.
I want to agree. I want to define naivety.
You.
I am naive.
No. I'm saying
I know this is Museveni's money.
Yes, it is not Museveni's money. So let me teach you.
It is Museveni's money because the Constitution says. The Constitution says.
We can open the Constitution. Don't talk about what you don't know.
No.
Let us hear what it says.
The President is Uganda's Minister of Finance.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You can deny that?
He
only delegates his powers to someone else. He's only in charge of estimating our revenue and expenditure. He has the mandate to do so.
Open.
Right? I do not have it now.
Have you read?
Disagree.
Can you tell us the article?
Not off head. But I know.
We can give you time. because we still have time on this show. I don't want us to be factualist, because what you're saying is not true. I know he has said he's the chief budgeter, but he's not.
It is constitution.
No, it is not constitutional.
That the president shall cause to be laid before parliament at the end of each calendar year an annual estimate of revenue and expenditure. The president shall cause to be. And it says below that. But he, where he finds fit, he may delegate someone to do that task on behalf of him.
And who has refused?
So whatever is in the budget,
who has refused that?
Whatever is in the budget, revenue and expenditure has the mandate of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
And there is no, first of all,
or not?
First of all, in the writing of the constitution, there is no word Museveni.
The president.
The president.
Oh, so is the
now,
president.
The wisdom, listen, I want to tell you these things. The reason why they say the president and they define it as a presidency is because it is isolated from individualism. Now you are a student of individualism. So that's why you want to lag behind with persons and think that the existence of those offices are on them.
Wait. Remember really that in Museveni shall, I said the president shall.
You are discussing two things. You're discussing presidency and you're discussing Museveni.
So you brought in Museveni. I said the constitution said the president shall cause to be laid before. I said the president.
Do you know how is that money passed of the budget? How is the budget passed? How is it originated? Because you want me to take you there with budgets.
You want me to do that?
Yes, you want. That's why you've taken me. A budget begins from where? Does the estimate begin from 7? It begins from committees
of parliament.
Okay. Now, when it is in the committees of parliament, that is where different parastatals draw their work plan. Not Museveni, like you're saying.
Yes, I agree with you.
So after they have drawn their work plan, these work plans are forwarded through the different committees, but to the budget committee.
Yes.
Now, to the budget committee, after that process, they begin with the engagement of different parastatals, looking where government comes in as cabinet. It comes in from the point of policy where they want the country to go, because they must direct where the resources will go, not as individuals. Okay? Now, for you,
unfortunately,
the beauty about whatever we are discussing here, you are discussing an outlawed country.
Unfortunately.
Not a country on the realms of the law.
Is done, and I agree with you 100%. But it ends with.
Yes, because he is the fountain.
With the
Why?
president.
Because he's the fountain of honor. Yes.
You even know
it is not a minister of finance. No, this is definition in the constitution. I am alive to what the constitution defines. Okay? I am very, if you have listened, wait, Simon, you are not permitting me to speak. If you have listened to me, I have clearly drawn a line with constitutionalism and anarchy. Now, I have told you that when I am discussing constitutionalism, the appetite of understanding what is in the constitution is in its dignity. Okay? So that is where I come from and tell you.
Referred you to what is there, and you actually deny it does not.
No, it does not define him as a minister of finance.
It does.
No.
Do you have any other question?
I'm not going to discuss. I'm not discussing law here. I'm discussing facts.
And I want to put it to you. Makes Mr. Museveni the minister for finance and gives him power to delegate that responsibility to any person he chooses. Gandhi, read it. If you don't find it, get back to me.
No, you will get back. I'm sure
we'll be right
you will
back.
Get back to me.
Let's have a short
about that.
We'll be right back. Televiku Baba TV program Muganga Muka the hot cup at 9 ne Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro omuyuka w'omwogezi w'ekibiina kya National Unity Platform agambye omulimu gwe gwakola buli lunaku ali ku struggle ya kujjako government ya Mwami Yoweri Kaguta Museveni gwe mulimu gwakola emisana gwakola n'ekiro si struggle y'okutwala omusajja etuusewa
era yenkezezawa bwedda twelega ebikya tuli ku ekyo bwe tokkiriza nti na dictator tokkiriza ekyo kubanga wano omanyi kiri ironic
fact nti muyinza okukera ne mumwogerako nti dictator era nemutambula
olowooza gwe kankubuuza olowooza nti Libya tebamwogerangako aboogera abaguma ne boogera ne babeera basajja ne batatunulira biri waka kankuwulirize
so I think Museveni may be a bad leader but not a dictator.
That is a very good, it's a good opinion for you kubanga gwe bad yo oyinawo ogikomya.
He may be a bad leader or a weak leader.
Kakati.
But not a dictator.
Okay, bad,
certainly
weak.
Not, and you know it.
No, he is. Juma Rashid is in prison over 21 days. That can only be done by a dictator, Kavuma. Gotomumanyi naye gyali omuntu ng'alina maama we, alina taata we, alina baganda be, tebalya oluvannyuma lw'ennaku 23 nga bali mu kkomera baamuwamba ne bamukuba n'essasi mu kiki mu kisambi. Lwitana Bukenya abaana be tebali mulabako baamuziika. Frank Senteza baamutta. Okay? Kakati Yasini Kawuma gw'oyogeddeko abeewaabwe tebali mulabako. Maama we Masaka buli lunaku aba akaaba. Kakati gwe badiyo weekoma simanyiwo nze nkubulidde ekitone ennyo nti dictator. November 19th, November 18th, it is on public record. Nga tuli mu kalulu ak'ebyobufuzi baatemula abantu 54. 54 people in November were murdered. Wayogera ku zaake nti yayogedde bubi. Ngabo tetwakuulira ng'oboogerako. 54 people. And it is on admission by the police that some of those who were murdered, it was by a stray bullet. 48 stray bullets. Mwabo mwalimu awereza emmere.
And the stray bullets from a dictator.
You think so?
Or from a gun.
But don't you know it's from a gang?
Held by an overzealous officer.
Who?
Whoever they will name.
Under which
that
leadership?
Gun should have come from somewhere.
Bakuba. Iwe toidi kuba togoberera. General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mwene yayikiriza yakoba nti ye naleta commando unit okuvaawa okuva e Somalia ngekolembera General Kechi. Aye buti we bitoyinza kubibona.
Anyway,
struggle ati neyo yendi kukuba
ekizibu wekyolina because tulikulamentinga yaliku ate wakubi omulimu
basome ku amawulire geigulo bagasomyeko agaidu
kuolinga Museveni yakati Museveni blames Nup for Ghana attacks.
Nti tulikulwana niwe tulikulwana na Museveni ye naidi era nayogera neyayiba akalulu era ife gwe tulwanisa so iwe kiyinza okubeera ekizibu bitegeera aye ye buli bwavaayo nga buli kimu ekiri mu nsi munekiremye Nup yajja kuliya nti oidi eyo Nup atone jeno yajja mu Human Rights Geneva nti eyo Nup olanya nti eyo Nup so iwe olikoba nti fe tuli mutolaku tulikuzaana naye tulikulya naye ssente kyo tuzira ku buzibu that is nembo nayo era tujja kulwana niwe abo notyo cause our duty is not to satisfy you nze nkukobye ebyebusoga ebiriyo I can only be satisfied in my belief nga ntoirewo ekizibu kyembonanga neki kyova obona kyatuma Simon netuma mwene nga Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro nawumuza
tukakase
ulirize ebigambo
nti obulumbaganyi bw'emundu Museveni yayogedde nga nti abanupu bavunanyizibwa you take responsibility.
Ate ffe tuli bamundu nkugambye birife bye tuliko gwe tulumba yeka yabimanyi yeka fe tuli nandate wano kasubidezi ya wano nayogeddeko nawe ebyemundu
okubimanya atugambye Museveni blames Nup for gun attacks
anti fe ng'omukulembeze oli generational vision beala kuba gwe togoberera kanti kugambe generational vision beala yatuuza press conference n'atuyita ffe ne TV yamwe yaliwo n'atugamba bino bye bijja oli gwe nwanisa kati atuusa agenda kubagamba nti kati ne mundu nkola ki nina nga bwe yazimusibako mu Arua ne zifuuka ice cream gwe tozibuuzanga era tomanyi na gye zaalaga ye wali ozibuzizaako zimanyi nti bamugamba yalina emundu n'ebbomu obadde ebyo bimanyi
nakimanya era nange
wali obuziza nti bbomu yaddawa
nkyebuuza nange I want to know that one I want to know emundu
baali bamugambyeko nti yalina bbomu toyinza keera wano ngamba nti kino kye bagamba kirala naye gwe tulwana naye wuliriza.
So you subscribe to the generational leader okanya naye
Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu
so the generation ye Muhoozi Kainerugaba ye generational leader
kwegayiridde ebyo tobireeta wano ku meeza eno kwegayiridde nnyo sho tetugimala tetugireeta wano ekyo tukireke.
So generational leader yani
vision bearer waffe tomumanyi eyajja n'atutwala mu nsi ensuubize ey'okujjako nakyemalira mbadde naawe nogamba mu dipi naawe tewabenyumyako si bwegambye ate ffe munnange nno omusomesa waffe Dr. Besigye gwe gw'oyagala ennyo nze musomesa wange yangamba eno junta government regime So ffe tubadde tuwuliriza nnyo n'abakulembeze abatumentalins mu struggle ey'okuliberatinga. Era nze yaŋŋamba nako nti ye omulimu ogugwa gukoze era ajja gukola paka mu ntaana, naye kimuwa essanyu nti ffe tukyalwana era tulwane paka kubanga mulimu abakoowa gwe wabivaamu wadda wazzekomyo mu mawulire. Kuba si byangu, byetaaga obuvumu okuggusa. Era nkukakasa wano ku TV
okuba nti mbiri munayenga nkozesa magezi kyesaagala
kakati kankubuuze Simon nze basobola okumpa omulimu wano nga ne ku TV ezimu bambaaninga
ate nze tonsanzeho ng'atogera nti ndi FDC wenda gwe nti amwe politician ndi FDC wano you are contradicting yourself
gwe FDC yo ndala nawe okimanyi
teri mu struggle
era gy'oyogera gwoli wadde kola mufudisi mulimu abaali mu struggle omugumi abadde Congo wali eri we balese omwana kamuswaga gwe tewamulabako yali ne Besigye bamutemako omukono owulidde balese omukazi era nga wa FDC mukyala bamulese omukyala gwe bakwata ne bambula ne balaga obwerere bwe simanyi oba wali oli mu FDC bamulese twalina enguli tulinawe bamunyigagana amabeere ne katebyo sinza gamba nti gobiraba kuba kati gwe simanyi gyoli kubanga gwolowooza bwe ngamba nti batulugunya kala sekimpi
enjawulo ya gyoli ne gyendi oga ntomanyi gyendi nze manyi gyoli enjawulo ya gyoli ne gyendi nze saagala kuvalugalizinga kufuula mulimu gwandibadde munene ogulimu obulamu bw'abantu n'enguzannya mu ngeri y'ekisirusiru eyo ekisaazisaazi omutali mazima
kyova olaba kuba bino bibaddemu kyova olaba oli awo era wabitadde nodde eno. It's not a comfortable zone my brother, it is fire. Ffe tugufumbanga mungi naye ne betulwanisa bagufumbanga mungi kakati toyinza gubaamu oba toyina mizi katoyinza okuba toyina mizi.
You're removing a dictator. Anyway, so struggle eno njagala ntegeera olwaleero mu ddakiika zino esigaddeyo ani gwe weetaaga mu struggle y'okuggyako dictator?
Buli anyigirizibwa kimukakatako. Struggle eno si yawaiswa si ya Kyagulanyi abamu bempulira nga bamunyigira n'omunyigira kuba nti ye he is just the leader. Tomorrow he might be murdered because it is on the plate to murder him. We have had those reports. You will laugh, but they have tried before. They took his driver. He did the campaign in bulletproof.
Omanyi Mufumbiro kakubulire kino. Ekimu ku bintu ebitulemeza mu opposition ennyo nga tetuka we tulaga are those hallucinations.
Ejjinja bali bakuba nga bamukuba amasasi byali bisolo muto banidda
bwe baagala okumadalinga Kyagulanyi they don't have to long cuts, very good shortcuts. One will come and shoot you.
Kyotamanyi nti Katonda gwe Simon kyotamanyi nti Katonda akola ebyamagero esasi ly'omwalu wali aliriye kati batya buti kumuta kwa tebamanyi kiyinza kuddako kuba tekisoboka ekyo nakyo nkikubuulira ne wano oyinza obutagituuzaawo pulogulaamu nga bamukubi nkubuulira ate tebamukwatanga okumukwata Novemba 5 bibaddewo bwezegita hallucination nebibaddewo nze kyenjawulo yes
how much time does it take him to murder
it takes a second to kill Kyagulanyi.
Why has he not been murdered?
Because he's protected by the power of the people.
The future follows the power of the people.
No, it was because he had been arrested. The people were rising against his arrest.
If you are Mufumbiro, if it is a struggle, make it a struggle.
It is a struggle.
And let it be understood.
No, it can't be understood by you.
It's not the camouflage of a struggle. It should be a struggle.
Listen, you cannot understand it because you can't manage it. You can't be it. You can't be with it. It takes a lot of stance and stamina. You talk about a struggle, Muyanga. You can't manage a struggle. You can't. Nkukobya olina okwerekereza buli kimu. N'omulimu ku baba oba toyidda kuba nagwo. Bw'oba oyenda okuba mu struggle nkukobye because as I have told you, you shortly have a little of my history. A little. So it is about the people of Busoga. Those people you stood for in Kaliro. Telling them that they were living in that abject poverty with that vision that you had, not running on the NRM ticket. And FDC has been known for defiance. So if you are here to lecture me about defiance, you are also being wrong and isolated.
And I wouldn't want you to talk about FDC because you have said severally that FDC is not.
Ani ya Uganda. Who? Have you had it on any public platform? You want also to be a hearsay person, Elumamonga?
Okay, so tell me today, FDC na chebagamba?
FDC is a serious political party.
Okay,
listen, Ombuziza. FDC is a serious political party with serious political players. I can tell you, Honorable Uganda is one everybody admires. Is a member of FDC. I will tell you, you where you are not. I went to Hoima and helped Nyakato Asnans become member of parliament. Where you are not and yet you are FDC. I slept there for a whole month. The person you know very well, Kalangwa, nearly killed me at State House in Hoima. So if you say we are running after FDC, you just don't know us. And you'll always...
I don't say I said I have heard several.
Yes,
FDC yalemwa. Yalemwa.
I was with Salam Musumba on a plane to Nairobi. Didn't you see me? Still you want me to tell you? I was with Dr. Besije in Nairobi.
Mufumbiro. You understand what I'm saying?
It is an
FDC
Nairobi.
Ebagamba chidi.
Uliriza kuje nabo bali kujako dictator. Mukisawe mutwa basangu kujako nga go FDC SARS no ngamba sibe baliko. Nayenze nali ne Salamu Musumbe Nairobi. Joli abalamu. Nali ne Dr. Kiza Besije Nairobi. Joli abalamu. Nali ne
I wish
listen,
I could read
Vice
the
President.
comments of your followers on Salamu.
Oh, chekikutawanya. Ate kati singa wangambi nti oli kubya ba followers. Oli kwebyo.
Yes. Because the party does not belong to Kyagulanyi and you. It belongs to the people. I want to tell you what the people are saying.
Kakati yeyo people power.
Yes, the people power. So the people say, nti FDC teyina kyebagamba.
Obasanga wa banji abo.
Kunikutu.
Banji.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Ye people power.
Egamba
kati people power.
Nti FDC teyina kyebagamba.
Dekambogerere bali. Dekambogerere kuba kyoyagala kye.
Olwedde baayogera.
Kyoyagala kye bannange. Aba people power banafe. Mwe benjogerera mbegayiridde. Simon Muyanga lutaya mu muyambe. Mu comment section azudde nga muri banji. Temugamba nti FDC teyina kyetugamba. Sebe ekyo kiwedde. Tebajja kiddamu.
Sibagenda tebakyogera because of me. I want to confirm from you.
I have requested them.
The FDC erina kyebagamba. I'm simply saying, do you need FDC in the struggle? If so, for what?
I have told you, we were with FDC in Nairobi. And you are running away again. Lwaki kitochikiriza okusoka?
In Nairobi for what? I don't know. Ugandan work done
but
in Nairobi. But
you're a journalist.
You are in Nairobi to do what?
Now, how?
There are so many things that happen in Nairobi. Tell me.
I will not tell you because at your level...
You are with FDC in Nairobi to plan to overthrow government from Nairobi.
At your level, they can overthrow government and plan from anywhere. Have you heard of the Moshi conference?
Yes.
We plan every day to remove him. We plan in everywhere we get space. We plan. You know, let me tell you, do you know how many times my leader has met Dr. Besi? Do you know how many times?
I do not know.
Can you even imagine how many times it has been? It is only because we leave you to carry the day and propagate your interests. We are in good talking terms, and whenever we have needed each other, we have stood to the occasion. We have stood together. We might have differences, that is a fact, because we are two different entities run by different individuals, okay? We might have a difference, but those differences at no one time have they exceeded the interests of the oppressed Ugandans that we represent. So for us as a party, well, even in our own institution, I'm also criticized. Let me tell you, when you go on social media, now let me tell you this. You have subjected yourself to critique to what you are saying. So you must be able, it is democratic for you to, when you see a like, when somebody is saying, Simon, you're very smart, smile, because there's that person who has appreciated you. When you see somebody say, Simon, nechitayecho, just understand that that one does not understand you. Forget about them. The problem you have, you look at the quantity of the negativity against what you have said because you assume it is positive. When we come here, it is not supposed to be our opinion. And if it is our opinion, it must be subjected to critique of the populace. Now, that is the uncensored critique that we got as a result of social media. That is why today they have decided that for you to access those applications, you must pay a particular tax. And Ugandans are doing so. So a Ugandan who has paid tax, he's watching Baba TV. You come here, and you know what is funny is that...
The tax was removed.
It was removed or reduced?
It was, social media tax was removed.
Oh, we fought for it. That is good.
The social media tax.
At least you would, on this show, you would thank us for having had that foresight.
However, exercise duty remains on using communication services.
Including data.
Including.
And if you remember very well, it was put on data.
Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, njagala kwebaza first okukiza nti obeere wano. Nenga sinamaliza. How is Nup? Is all well in Nup? Tusoma mu wano nti temukanya na leader of opposition mu parliament ne walala. And your leader has warned that if those in parliament are not working in the interest of the people, we shall not hesitate to remove them.
We are anchored on the power of the people and the people. So anybody who deviates from the people is not with us.
Has any of your MPs deviated?
Yes, some.
Some?
Yes.
Can you name any?
The Straha Kagabo, everybody knows that.
He has deviated?
Yes.
From the people's will?
Yeah. According
to what you think or according to what his voters think?
No, it is public knowledge. Even the voters will tell you about Straha Kagabo. It is only that you are not so much alive to the media, but it is everywhere.
So what are you doing about him?
No, we are not a violent group.
You are not what?
A violent group. If you were violent, many people would have left yesterday. But because you want us to assume we are violent,
it is the right time to end this show. That is by Alex Mufumbiro, the deputy spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, telling me that no, is not a violent group. Oh Jesus, let's end this here. My name is Sir Simon Muyanga.
Simon.